if you need to change the settings of your thermostat to make sure that it's reading floor probe and not the ambient temperature, which is very important. You need to, on this model in particular, turn it off, press and hold set about 2 to 5 seconds. And we need to go to the setting A4, sensor setting, and we need to choose N2, floor probe only, or air sensor only, or N3 is air sensor and floor probe. What we're going to do is we'll just make sure that it is N3. Factory settings is N3. Let's double check and set, turn off, hold A1, 1. We need to go to A4 and it's N3. Okay, N3 is set. We're gonna go OK. Turn it off, turn it back on. And let's set temperature to 26 degrees and we'll see what is gonna be up. When you have to cut trunking, always cut without the lead, because you can always do the lead in the nicest way. If you cut the trunking slightly too short, the lid is the element that's decorative, and obviously if it's all done in trunking, you need to aim for a really nice clean finish, because this is where you can only just put a bit, maybe just a bit of a silicone to finish it off. You are doing a final finish basically, so it's not chasing and then the plaster comes to decorate. I always do, and my team is always aiming to cut without the lid on, and I always aim to cut slightly longer, because you can always shave off a bit, but you can't really add, you can't reverse that action. As you can see, we've got skirting board as we have a carpet gripper. But let me demonstrate. Having this on the wall, we've got about a few millimeters, about 5, 6. If I was to profile it, which means cut the back of it in line with the skirting board, I think that would work for us really well. So we're going to attempt to put this right in the corner, right there, all the way down. We'll need to cut from the side and from the back. Let's do it. The matting now. It is very important to understand how you're going to lay all the cables, whether the length of the cable is long enough to get you to where you need, like in this case, to the thermostat, because that needs to get to a thermostat. I've been on a job where a builder put this straight into the fuse spur and then put the thermostat. And the client called me, "Greg, the floor heating isn't working, can you help?" And I'm like, "What have they done for you?" Basically, the thermostat was doing absolutely nothing. Well, it was reading the temperature of the floor, but it wasn't controlling anything. So you got 4 linear meters of this heating mat, and you only have a certain length. So you want to make sure that you are distributing this as evenly as possible. So let me show you. Here is the important moment. So I measured exactly the 2 meters on that roll, which is here, with about, is always recommended with 10 centimeters of the gap on either side. The client asked me to come closer with the heating to the external wall, which is these doors, to warm this area up. So helps damp proofing as well, because we're going to be heating all this space much more efficiently. There's no direct heating in this room, and I marked myself exactly where the 2 meters from edge to edge is. So that's where we are. We are here. So now we need to cut the mat. You don't cut from this end. We need to avoid cutting the actual heating element. I know I'm going here. This is the one. So I need to start cutting from that side. Always take your time when you do this. Don't rush. We don't want to damage the heating mat. When you get to the edge of this, there is that heating cable here. That's what it is. The mat is even designed to allow you to cut around it without damaging away from the matting. That's it. All that time I was holding on to those cables, so I want to make sure that they are obviously not going to get damaged. So when I line this up with it, here we go, just like that. At this point, we don't want these edges to be too close to each other. As you can see, by manufacturer, they've got about 5 centimeters between each one of them. So we want to almost grab both edges and pull gently, ever so gently. Okay, that's max. That's as maximum as they could go. They're not going to go any further. Sometimes you're able to go slightly, like offset, so that's not directly next to it, there's that gap. What we're gonna do is we will measure this off, just to make sure that we're still on track. That's already 1 square meter, 2 linear meters of half. That's where we are going to end up with the second one. Going by this measurements, we are here. So actually there will be a gap of about 20 centimeters to 30 here.